This evening, the hot air balloon global challenge was given the green light. And a small army of Moroccan soldiers carried out the great balloon, which will head around the world. Richard Branson and balloonist Per Lindstrand had spent the day studying wind charts. At last, after 18 months, the jet stream winds were beginning to align and a takeoff from Marrakesh was looking good. The burners above the manned capsule roared into life. They will fill the balloon with over 1 million cubic feet of hot air. The intrepid crew, which includes skydiving champion Rory McCarthy, hope to be pushed along at 250 miles an hour at a height of 30,000 feet inside a tiny box. If the weather and other conditions are favourable, this is where those magnificent men intend to spend the next 3 weeks together inside their flying machine. The engineers have prepared that machine to go on for 20,000 miles through winds and storms in the hope it will achieve the first non-stop circumnavigation of the world. As Branson explained to me, it's become his life's ambition and one he cannot let go.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, the idea tomorrow morning of stepping into a balloon, being propelled only by the wind and heading off around the world and potentially, to be the first people to go around the world, for it to be a British team, is something I can't resist.
Tonight, the balloon awaits its massive injection of helium. Tomorrow, it should head towards Algeria, Libya, Egypt and India, reaching the Pacific in a few days' time. Terry Lloyd, News at 10, Morocco.
Here, temperatures rose above freezing for the first time in days in some areas, and water began to pour out of thousands of burst pipes. Water companies and plumbers have been working flat out to mend them. The forecasters say the cold weather isn't over. Paul Davis reports.
The sound that greeted thousands returning from holiday, a temporary thaw taking its toll of frozen water pipes. In this case, burst pipes at St Meridoc Junior School, Camborne, meant a surprise extension to the holiday for hundreds of children. The Can family returned to their home in Chingford to discover typical devastation, ceilings brought down by a flood that originated in the loft.
We're told about 700 gallons, and it had only been going on for a few hours because our neighbours checked the problem.
Like plumbers around the country, says the last time he was this busy was back in the 1970s.
We've been inundated with calls, ceilings falling down. It's been absolutely nerve-wracking. Sleep is a bonus these days.
The deep freeze, followed by a quick thaw, is the worst news for water companies, and it's a combination that could be repeated very soon.
The latest forecast predicts after this brief thaw, temperatures will drop this week, only to rise again at the weekend. It will inevitably mean thousands more cases of burst water pipes and inconvenience.
In fact, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. It looks as if the cold easterly wind that we suffered over the New Year period is going to come back. And in fact, we could be seeing some snow around about Friday or Saturday.
The Met men say all of Britain will soon be shivering, even those parts of Scotland which escaped the worst of last week's weather, but where temperatures are now dropping. For the emergency services, there have been triumphs as well as tragedies. When this mare fell through thin ice, Essex firemen struggled for 3 hours before successfully pulling her to safety. Paul Davis, News at 10.
The Woolwich Building Society said today that some of its members will qualify for handouts worth more than £1,200 when it converts to a bank in July. All qualifying members will get a basic 450 shares worth about £800. Investors can get even more depending on how much money they've had in their accounts. Prince Charles is expected to start presenting a new, more caring image to the public after he comes home from Switzerland tomorrow. It was confirmed today that his divorced wife Diana, Princess of Wales, is also to get the sort of role she wants with the palace's full approval. Here's our royal correspondent Nicholas Owen.
Behind the two people. Prince Charles nearing the end of his skiing holiday in Switzerland amid evidence that he's more relaxed in the public gaze this year. A new press advisor, Mark Boland, on the right here, has ensured reporters know what's happening, and the word is that the prince wants to be seen as less remote. The role of the royal nanny, Tiggy Leg Burke, has been played down in deference to the feelings of Princess Diana. It's several years since she was seen on this sort of mission. Today it was announced she's going next week to see the awful effects on human beings of landmines in Africa. She'll accompany aid officials to Angola, a visit organised by the Red Cross, a charity she did break with last summer.
She expressed a wish to help us with this particular campaign, and that's what she's doing.
And you really think her involvement is crucial?
Well, you only have to hear the phones here today. I mean, the phones have been red hot all day with journalists and others who are interested in this issue now, when perhaps they might not have been if I'd gone on my own.
Meanwhile, in Birmingham tonight, preparations for an ITV studio debate on the whole institution of monarchy tomorrow. An opinion poll done for the programme finds much of the population very critical of the royal family. Buckingham Palace declines to make any comment on royal opinion polls, though no organisation will be happy with the decline in popularity the latest ones indicate. Officials say they want to put the difficulties of the past behind and look forward positively to the future. Nicholas Owen, News at 10 at Buckingham Palace.
Coming up next on News at 10 tonight, the desperate search in stormy seas for a missing British yachtsman. Counting down to victory, how China is making propaganda out of the handover of Hong Kong. Sitting duck, what Mike Atherton said in defence of his team's dismal performance. And the star of free...